Some saves are good, some are great, and then there are the ones that don't even seem possible. Moments where the goalie is completely beaten but still finds a way to stop the puck. These are the saves that live on forever. Henrik Lundqvist had one of these on January 19, 2013. The New York Rangers were facing the Boston Bruins, and late in the game, Boston was pressing hard. Zdeno Chara sent a pass to Milan Lucic, who quickly fed the puck across the crease to David Krejci. Lundqvist was on the wrong side of the net. Krejci had a wide-open shot. Everyone thought it was in, but somehow, Lundqvist launched himself across the goal line, stretched out his glove, and snatched the puck in mid-air. It was so close, the officials had to review the play to make sure it had never crossed the line. The Rangers lost 3-1, but that save became one of the greatest of Lundqvist's career. Then there was Andrei Vasilevskiy on February 25, 2019. The Tampa Bay Lightning were up against the Los Angeles Kings, and he made a save that had people shaking their heads in disbelief. The Kings had the puck right in front of the net. The shot was coming. Vasilevskiy was out of position. It looked like an easy goal, but in a split second, he swung his arm backward while still facing forward and somehow caught the puck behind his back. He never even saw it. It was pure instinct, pure reaction, and it left fans and players stunned. It was one of the best saves of the season and a reminder of why Vasilevskiy was considered one of the best goaltenders in the world. But no save meant more than Braden Holtby's on May 30th, 2018. It was Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Finals between the Washington Capitals and the Vegas Golden Knights. The Capitals were holding on to a 3-2 lead with less than 2 minutes left. Then came the moment. Cody Eakin sent a perfect pass to Alex Tuch. The net was wide open. It seemed like the game was about to be tied. But in an instant, Holtby lunged across the crease and reached out with his stick. The puck hit the paddle and bounced away. The crowd couldn't believe it. The Capitals couldn't believe it. Vegas couldn't believe it. That save changed everything. Washington held on to win the game, gained momentum in the series, and went on to win their first Stanley Cup in franchise history. Tuukka Rask also had one of those moments on April 21st, 2010. It was Game 4 of the Eastern Conference quarterfinals between the Boston Bruins and Buffalo Sabres. The Bruins had fought back to tie the game 2-2, and now it was double overtime. One mistake could end it. Then came the chance for Buffalo. Mike Greer got the puck near the crease with a wide-open net in front of him. It should have been the game winner, but in a split second, Rask threw himself across the crease and reached out with his glove. He snatched the puck out of the air like a baseball player making a diving catch. The crowd exploded. That save didn't just keep the Bruins in the game, it gave them the momentum to win it. 7 years later, Pekka Rinne made a save that was just as unreal. It was the 2017 Western Conference Finals. The Nashville Predators were facing the Anaheim Ducks, fighting for their first ever trip to the Stanley Cup Final. The Ducks were pressing hard, and the puck was loose in front of the net. Rinne was already down. The goal was wide open. Then, out of nowhere, he stretched his arm backward and got a piece of the puck. He didn't even see it, he just reacted. Somehow, the puck stayed out. That save helped Nashville take control of the series and eventually make history by reaching the final. Then there was Carey Price, a goalie known for making impossible saves look easy. On February 19, 2015, the Montreal Canadiens were up against the Washington Capitals. The game was tied, and time was running out. With just 3 seconds left, the puck found its way to Alex Ovechkin, one of the most dangerous scorers in NHL history. He had a clear shot at an open net. It should have been over, but Price wasn't ready to give up. He launched himself across the crease and reached out with his glove. Somehow, he got enough of the puck to deflect it away. The game went to overtime, and even Ovechkin had to shake his head in disbelief. Some saves are just another play. Others are the kind you never forget. Roberto Luongo made one of those in 2011 during Game 7 of the Western Conference quarterfinals. The Vancouver Canucks were in overtime against the Chicago Blackhawks, a team that had crushed their playoff hopes in the past. This time, Vancouver was desperate to break the curse. Then came the moment that nearly ended everything. Jonathan Toews sent a perfect pass across ice, and Patrick Sharp was waiting right in front of the net. Luongo was caught too far over. The shot was lined up. Sharp just had to tap it in. The entire arena saw what was coming, but in that split second, Luongo threw himself across the crease, reaching with his blocker. The puck deflected off him, hit the post, and bounced away. It was a save that changed everything. Vancouver went on to win the game and the series. For Luongo, it wasn't just a great stop, it was a moment that erased years of playoff heartbreak against Chicago. 6 years later, another goalie made a stop that no one thought was possible. It was Game 6 of the 2017 Western Conference Finals. Nashville was leading the series against Anaheim, but the Ducks were pushing hard. Andrew Cogliano found himself with the puck right in front of an open net. Pekka Rinne was already down and out of position. There was no way he could make it in time. Somehow, he did. He stretched out his leg as far as it could go, getting just enough of the puck to keep it out. That one save changed everything. Instead of a tied game, Nashville held their lead. The Predators won, clinched the series, and reached the Stanley Cup Final for the first time in franchise history. Rinne had always been a force in net, but this was different. This was a career-defining moment. Sometimes a save isn't about the playoffs. Sometimes it's just pure instinct. Ryan Miller had one of those moments on December 3rd, 2010. Buffalo was playing Detroit, late in the game, with just under 2 minutes left. The Sabres pulled their goalie for an extra attacker. It was a gamble, and it backfired. Henrik Zetterberg got the puck at center ice and fired a shot toward the empty net. The game was about to be over. Miller wasn't even in the crease. But he didn't give up. He dove across the ice, stretching his glove as far as he could. Somehow, he snatched the puck out of midair just before it crossed the goal line. Even the Detroit crowd, seconds away from celebrating, couldn't believe what they had just seen. The Red Wings still won the game, but that save became one of the most unforgettable moments of Miller's career. In Game 6 of the 2018 Eastern Conference first round, Frederik Andersen had one of those moments. The Toronto Maple Leafs were facing elimination against the Boston Bruins on April 23, 2018. They needed a win to force Game 7, and Andersen was the one who had to keep them alive. Boston came out strong, firing shot after shot, testing Andersen early. He held his ground, stopping everything thrown his way. By the third period, Toronto had a 3-1 lead, but the Bruins weren't done. They pushed hard, getting closer and closer to scoring. Then, with time winding down, it happened. A Bruins player found himself in perfect position with the puck and an open net. It should have been a goal. The game should have been 3-2, and the momentum should have swung back to Boston. But Andersen wasn't ready to let that happen. In one desperate motion, he threw himself across the crease, reaching as far as he could. His body was fully stretched out, and somehow he got a piece of the puck. The save left the Bruins stunned, and the crowd in disbelief. Even the commentators struggled to find words. It was the moment that defined his performance that night. He finished the game with 32 saves, and thanks to him, Toronto lived to fight another day. Almost a year and a half later, another goaltender made a save just as shocking. On November 19, 2019, Marc-Andre Fleury and the Vegas Golden Knights were in a tight battle against the Toronto Maple Leafs. It was late in the third period, and Vegas was barely holding on to a 3-2 lead. Every second mattered, and Toronto was pressing hard for the tying goal. Then came the perfect chance. Ilya Mikheyev took a shot that rang off the crossbar. The puck dropped right onto Nick Petan's stick. The net was wide open. It looked like a guaranteed goal. Even the scoreboard operator thought so and accidentally credited Toronto with the score. But Fleury wasn't finished. In an unbelievable display of reflexes, he launched himself across the crease, throwing out his glove, and at the last possible moment, he snatched the puck out of the air before it crossed the goal line. The crowd erupted. The Maple Leafs couldn't believe it. The save wasn't just a highlight. It sealed Fleury's 450th career win and reminded everyone why he was one of the greatest goalies of all time.